Confiscated from criminals here in the tri-state. In Ohio, most of the guns are destroyed.
But things are different in Kentucky. Nearly every criminal weapon seized in the Commonwealth must be sold at auction. Local 12's Duane Pohlman traveled to the auction, and he spent months investigating Kentucky's lucrative trade centered on selling criminal weapons.
On the streets of the tri-state, weapons rule. From handguns to high-powered assault rifles.
The officers of the Cincinnati Police Department come across a multitude of types of guns.
Police say they're facing ever-increasing firepower.
The assault weapon type guns to the small caliber single-shot handguns.
But when criminals are caught, their weapons,
that's an AK-47,
are confiscated.
It's a semi-auto.
But what happens to those weapons after they're seized? Well, the answer to that depends on which side of the river you're on. That's right. Here in Ohio, most of the guns confiscated from criminals are destroyed. But over here in Kentucky, every gun that's seized must by law be sold. That includes guns used in violent crimes, even murder weapons. Welcome to the confiscated weapons sale at the Kentucky State Police Supply Branch, where the bidding is fast and furious.
Number 38, $250, number 38.
Only gun dealers can bid on these confiscated weapons and ammunition. Some dealers have traveled a long way.
Where are you from?
Virginia.
Tennessee.
Many others live closer to home.
Ripley, Ohio. Nicholasville.
When it was over,
How was it today?
It was fun.
the dealers hauled out hundreds of guns,
Did you get anything good? Nothing.
A few things.
including assault rifles.
What is this thing?
It's the SKS.
Some had to make more than one trip to get all the guns they bought here.
Still a demand for them.
Yes, a big demand.
275 down, 3.
To meet that demand, Kentucky passed this law 20 years ago, which mandates all confiscated firearms shall be sold at public auction to federally licensed firearms dealers, with all money going to the state and local police. Last year, confiscated gun auctions in Kentucky brought in more than $628,000. 20% went to the state police. 80% was distributed, as required by law, as grants from Homeland Security to 5 police departments to buy bulletproof vests, guns, and ammunition for officers. We're still waiting on a full list of what was purchased and which departments benefited.
Are you surprised?
I am a little bit surprised.
Cincinnati Police Lieutenant Colonel Terry Thiegy is surprised by Kentucky's law because Ohio law requires a court to approve selling confiscated firearms. Here in Cincinnati, a city ordinance simply says all weapons need to be destroyed for public safety reasons.
So you have a municipal code, you have a law, you have a city law that says you must destroy.
Correct.
Last year, CPD destroyed 1,257 firearms. In 2016, CPD destroyed 1,142 guns. All of them melted down at a metal company that's not in Ohio.
Would it be Kentucky?
It might be. It might be across the river.
And that is ironic.
That is ironic.
While police don't make policy, CPD is pleased to get rid of the guns.
Just to alleviate that question of whose hands it could possibly get into, the better alternative is to destroy it.
Back across the river in Newport, Police Chief Tom Collins abides by, but does not support Kentucky's mandate to sell seized guns.
I'm not happy about it, and I think any law enforcement officer feels the same way. Once we get a weapon off the street, I don't really want to have to deal with that weapon again.
Chief Collins is so unhappy, he won't accept money collected from that gun auction in Frankfort.
So you made a conscientious decision not to get a grant from the sale of the weapons.
That's correct.
You must believe in that very strongly.
I do.
But gun dealers have strong beliefs too, even if they didn't want to talk about that on camera.
But I don't really want to do interviews because I don't really like the media, no offense.
And with a strong law and millions of dollars in sales, the sound of the auctioneer here will not likely be silenced anytime soon.
$1,500 number 394.
Kentucky is one of nearly a dozen states that are required to auction criminal weapons. In Indiana, the guns can be auctioned, sold, or destroyed. It's up to the local departments. By the way, Newport's police chief is far from alone in his opposition. The International Association of Chiefs of Police says the guns should be destroyed, not sold. I'm Duane Pohlman, Local 12 News.
And guns seized and sold by police are turning up as weapons used in new crimes across the country. How often that happens is hard to say because the serial numbers for guns are only available to law enforcement agents.